The book is Beholding and Becoming, and I am here with its author and artist, Ruth Chou Simons. This book is filled with your beautiful art, and I think of you as an artist. You must deal with that perfectionism, that need to make every thing that you paint perfect. How do you deal with that?
Well, one practical thing is I learned how to watercolor. I used to be an oil and acrylics painter where you could just keep painting over something, but with watercolor you can't, and you have to just kind of let it be. Water will go where it will, and when it's done, you kind of can't do more to it. And that's really taught me to just let it go and be in love with even things that go out of your control, and it creates something more beautiful and more organic than you would have done in the first place. And so some of that I've learned as an artist.
That's so good. And I think that a lot of us with this perfectionism, it's almost a voice in our head that's always telling us, why can't you do better? Why can't you do harder? That's not perfect. You need to try more. How do we get that voice out of our head?
Well, I think for one thing, we have to stop comparing because really, comparison is the thief of joy. And if you sit with your cell phone open, constantly looking at how somebody else is doing it better than you, whatever the it is, if you're looking at how somebody else is living the life better than you, decorating their homes better than you, painting better than you, you won't find a creative bone in your body. You can't create content. You can't come up with an original thought. You can't even press into your calling if you're keeping your eyes on somebody else.
And how do we relax into our imperfections in a sense, just to say, and you meet people all the time. If you meet somebody who is comfortable in their own skin, that is so attractive. You just want to be around them.
Yeah.
We all want to get there. So how do I just sit with the fact that I'm not perfect and it's okay?
Yeah. Well, I think you have to start at the place where what God says about you is more important than what you say about yourself. And I think that's a really difficult thing, because if I created a narrative of what I think about myself, there would be a whole bunch of adjectives that wouldn't be all that flattering. But when you go to the Bible, you realize that the scriptures are really clear about defining that we're loved, that we are chosen, that we are forgiven, that we are considered sons and daughters. And when you look at that whole list of adjectives at the beginning of Ephesians, you start realizing it really matters what God says about you, because your feelings will come and go. You will have a good hair day, a bad hair day. You'll create a masterpiece of artwork, or the next day you want to just crumple everything up and throw it away. But who you are isn't changed by your performance today. It is defined by your Father in heaven.
And people are fickle. They love you one moment, especially when you're living a public life, art, or you're putting yourself out there in any way. They love you one moment, they hate you the next.
Right.
You're so right. Meditating on what God says about us. Thank you so much for just sharing your thoughts from this beautiful book.
Thank you.
We want to get a copy of this into your hands. I know you're going to absolutely love this gorgeous book. Here's how you can order your copy.